So, the 2026 Grammys happened, and yeah, they gave out awards for the year's best music. But honestly, the real show wasn't even on stage. We're talking baffling red carpet moments, some wild drama, and even a quiet revolution. Let's get into everything you didn't see.
Okay, so right out of the gate, the internet basically exploded with one question. What was going on with Justin Bieber? I mean, he showed up with his wife Hailey, but his whole vibe was just completely off.
And this comment right here, it pretty much sums up what everyone was thinking. It wasn't just one bad photo, you know? It was this feeling that he was a million miles away, and it had everyone talking.
So yeah, let's dive into what we're calling the Bieber mystery. We've got to unpack that red carpet appearance because fans online immediately started labeling it everything from stoned to just plain sad.
It was a whole bunch of little things that just added up. He wasn't smiling for any of the cameras, people were saying there was no spark in his eye, and he barely even posed with Hailey. Naturally, this kicked off a tidal wave of theories. Was he just totally over the whole fame thing? Was he exhausted? Or was something more serious going on? And that speculation just got worse after this super awkward on-air chat with Trevor Noah that pretty much confirmed he wanted to be anywhere else but there.
But that weirdness on the red carpet, that was just the appetizer. The real main course of the Justin Bieber saga came during his performance, when he revealed a massive, and let's just say, very controversial new tattoo.
The performance itself was really raw, really stripped down. Justin was barely clothed, and all of a sudden, nobody was listening to the song anymore. All eyes were on this gigantic new piece of ink covering most of his back. And that is when the internet debate really took off.
The biggest problem was that nobody could figure out what the heck the tattoo was supposed to be. So, on one side you have Team Hailey. They were convinced it was her face, and they even pointed to a specific magazine photo that Justin had said he loved. Plus, it kind of fits his MO, right? He gets tattoos of his partners. But Team Not Hailey was not having it. They argued it looked way more like Jesus, even though he's already got a Jesus tat. They said the face didn't look like Hailey at all. Some said they effed up, and there were even whispers that he'd already tried to get it lasered off.
And the public reaction? Oof, let's just say it was not kind. This comment pretty much captures the vibe, that whether it was Hailey or not, the art itself was not great.
And the hits just kept on coming. The quality of the tattoo became a huge topic of conversation, with tons of people online basically saying the artist should never be allowed near a tattoo gun ever again.
And here's the kicker that makes it all so much messier. People were quick to point out that Justin still has a very obvious tattoo of his ex, Selena Gomez, that he's never covered up. So his whole track record with relationship tattoos is just complicated.
So you have to ask, right? Where is all this tension coming from? Why are they always under such a microscope? Well, to really get it, you have to look at their history, because this is definitely not the first time a big event has turned into a whole thing for them.
It really all traces back to that infamous incident at the Met Gala. As they were walking the carpet, a group of people just started chanting Selena's name over and over. Videos surfaced that seemed to show Justin comforting Hailey, telling her don't cry, and then she immediately put on these dark sunglasses. Later, her official story was just that she had something in her eye, but the damage was done. That moment created this narrative of public harassment that's kind of followed them everywhere since.
Okay, but the Bieber drama wasn't the only weird thing that happened at the 2026 Grammys. Not by a long shot. The whole night was packed with bizarre, viral, and just plain strange moments. So let's do a quick rapid fire of some of the other highlights.
First up on Fashion Police duty, we have Rosalia. She wore this simple little black dress with what can only be described as a giant folded dinner napkin stuck right on the front. It looked like a blob of ketchup was holding it in place. It was a choice.
But if we're giving out an award for the most daring look of the night, it has to go to Chappell Roan. Her entire outfit looked like it was being held up by just her nipple piercings. It turned out to be this incredible prosthetic effect, like a lace front boob. But wow, the illusion was shocking, a little scary, and it absolutely got everyone talking.
And then there was the French DJ, Justin. He showed up in an all-black look that, well, included covering his skin in black paint. The choice was immediately controversial and sparked a pretty intense debate online about where the line is between artistic expression and something much more offensive.
Away from the fashion, there were some just amazing and awkward moments. The absolute legend, Joni Mitchell, got on stage to accept an award, and then realized mid-speech that she'd actually won.
It was just this perfectly sweet, funny moment of genuine shock.
And then on the other end of the awkward spectrum, you had Brie Larson. She found out she'd lost the Grammy she was nominated for, not from the announcement, but because a reporter broke the news to her live, on camera, during an interview. You could just feel the cringe. Ouch.
There was even some drama behind the scenes with the Glambot. You know, that cool slow-motion camera that gets all the amazing outfit shots? Well, its super famous operator, Cole, was conspicuously missing from his usual spot chatting with the stars, apparently because of some recent controversies.
But, you know, in the middle of all that chaos, something really important actually happened. Let's talk about how Chappell Roan, on top of her wild fashion statement, might have actually started a quiet revolution on the red carpet.
This really all stems from Chappell Roan just being brutally honest. She's been so open about her anxiety and how totally overwhelming these events are for her. She even called the wall of photographers horrifying.
And it looks like her speaking up is having a real, actual impact. People who were at the Grammys this year said the whole vibe from the press was just different. It seems like they finally got the message.
So here's how it seems to have happened. First, she wasn't afraid to directly confront photographers at other events, literally telling them to shut up. Then she backed it up by being really open about the anxiety that whole experience causes. And the result? This year, other huge artists like Sabrina Carpenter were remarking on how quiet and respectful the press line was. It really feels like a shift is happening.
Which leaves us with this one really fascinating question to think about. Thanks to artists like Chappell Roan who are willing to speak out and push back, could we actually be seeing the beginning of the end for the loud, aggressive, chaotic red carpet that we've all gotten so used to? I guess only time will tell.